So, with Bethesda shipping Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, obviously broke many things, and now the studio has posted a fix plan. The update was supposed to bring the Creations menu and over 150 Creations Club items bundled with the base game and its 6 expansions. But players quickly found crashes, broken mods, and DLC that the game no longer recognized as its own. Bethesda says that it's, and I quote, actively investigating, and that players should already see faster loading times in the creation menu, the game menu, and when redeeming the Creation Club items. Now right now, the immediate plan is a hotfix, and they just mentioned earlier next week, to tackle the stability, especially on Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, to fix the creations that depend on DLC, and to address the issue where PlayStation consoles are having DLC become uninstalled after the update. Now after that, Bethesda promised 2 large patches, one in the week of November 24th I believe, and another in the first half of December. Now those dates came from Bethesda's support note and were repeated across the press. Now, one of the technical change that's already caught attention is the planned jump in creation local storage on Xbox Series X and S, which will grow up to 100 gigabytes to creators and mods that can actually be much bigger in this case, right? Bethesda also says that it's looking to increase storage on PlayStation, and that the extra storage is important if Bethesda really wants DLC-sized creations. Now, big mods like Fallout London showed the kind of a scale people want, but those massive projects often need a stable version of the game and mod tools to work well on consoles. Now, the worst part of this are not just technical, it's also about the trust and the timing. A lot of players remember the, and I quote, next-gen updates last year that also broke things and left the community waiting for the fixes that genuinely pretty much never came. And the history makes it feel worse. People see a company asking to be trusted again while the product that went on sale is visibly unstable. Bethesda's Creations push looks like it's aimed to turn some of the Fallout fans into buyers of paid creations, and that's fine in principle, but the store and the menu functionality being prioritized before core stability reads poorly to community that expects playable, reliable games first. Now, there are some honest positives among the mess. If the storage increase is real and the hotfixes and patches don't break more things, then console could start to run larger, more ambitious creations. And that's only one way things that the DLC-sized mods or big community projects could come to the players who don't use PC mods tools, as an example. Now, groups that made big Starfield creations or ambitious mods for Fallout 4 and Skyrim have shown what's possible when creators have space and tools. The difference now is whether Bethesda will let that work without constantly destabilizing the base game. A quick look at the sequence of events helps explain player frustration. Bethesda announced an Anniversary Edition and briefly took down mod and Creation Club services while the update shipped. Players who expected a polished re-release instead found long loading times, broken saves, DLC not registering, and compatibility problems with the mods that they rely on. Bethesda's community manager acknowledged the unrecognized content issue on Discord and said that the team found kind of a cause and is working to fix it. Now that's the right public step, but it does not erase the feeling that this update should have been tested longer before the launch. Now it's also worth noting the business side. This Anniversary Edition arrives right when the franchise is getting a big visibility boost from the Fallout TV series. Season 2 of the show is set to be premiered on December 17, 2025, and Fallout 76 is launching a major free update called Burning Springs on December 2nd, 2025, both of which created a kind of a huge influx of newer, more casual fans who will buy digital products if the storefronts looks good. Now, that kind of timing explains why Bethesda rushed some of the creations and store work, but also explains why the optics are bad. The company appears to be polishing the shop window before properly making the foundations, so it doesn't all fall apart. There's a wider, sad pattern here. Bethesda has a history of big post-launch updates that add visible features, but also disrupt long-standing community workflows and mods. Fans pointed to Skyrim's Anniversary Edition are just sometimes that you could be handling it better, and to Starfield's creation era examples when arguing for the higher standards. Now with Fallout 4 anniversary struggles, the community patience is thin. If Bethesda wants goodwill, fixing the game is step one. Meaningful gestures such as expanded support, free content, or clearer compensation for the players harmed by the update would be actually the step two. Until then, a lot of veteran players will stay skeptical. Now, concretely, here's what matters to you as a player. Just don't buy into paid creations or new bundles until the hotfix and at least of the first November patch lands and people confirm the saves for themselves, like DLCs, mods that are all stable. Now, back up your save files externally if you can, and keep an eye on Bethesda support article and community posts for exact hotfix notes. Now, if you already bought Creations Bundle and are seeing broken content, report it and open a support ticket. Bethesda has said some, those reports helped pinpoint the problems nevertheless. At the end of the day, this is embarrassing for Bethesda, but perhaps fixable, technically and reputationally. The studio has the resources and the teams to patch Fallout 4 back into the stable state. The hard part is restoring trust. If they fix the immediate failures, clearly explain the changes, and then follow up with something positive for players who were hurt by the launch, people will calm down. And if they don't, the damage will stick and people will rightfully be very much cautious against Elder Scrolls 6 or the next big Bethesda push. For now though, watch for the hotfixes, the week of November the 24th patch and the early December follow-up, and manage your expectations until those updates land and the community confirms the game is actually fixed. Now, I'd like to hear from you what you think about it, right? I want to hear from you. If your Fallout 4 game or Creations content actually broke, are you having so many issues and difficulties? Perhaps maybe you're waiting until the hotfix comes through and then you'll check out how it actually performs afterwards. But yeah, I'd love to read it down in the comments. At that, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys all and have a wonderful day.